Right, hi guys, we're finally here. It's Friday afternoon, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, it's the 19th today. Not getting much peace at the moment, just setting up. There's a guy over here using some kind of two-stroke chop-off saw. There's a guy over here using some two-stroke chainsaws. And there's a bloke up there who's got a bonfire. So if it looks occasionally like the set of Apocalypse Now, you'll know why. But I'm going to get set up anyway. Keen to get the rods in the water. We're doing some roach fishing today and some chub fishing. That's the idea, one rod on each. And I'm going to stop talking, get set up, get the rods in the water, and then I'll come back to you, talk to you about baits and tackle and everything. As I've said previously, I changed the rigs after what happened last time, so I'm going to have a go with the new stuff. I'll show you what I'm doing. So guys, here we are, baits are in the water. At the moment I've got a couple of small feeders on just to get some ground bait in. Same ground bait as I was using last week, Sensas 3000, this sort of sweet smelling black coloured ground bait. Excuse me if I cough, this smoke's getting right down me. It's one of those, he's got like a bonfire going, I don't know, a couple of 100 metres down there. It's blown right at me this way and I feel all deep purple with this. There's one for the kids. So I'm fishing the inside line here. As I say, I've got this ground bait. All I've put in the ground bait is some hemp, that's all. Just tinned hemp. Fishing about, let's say, rod length out, something like that, 12 foot, I would say. Literally just where the swirls and the crease touches the main current. Because I know in the summer the edges here, they're quite reed lined. There's a lot of stream weed. And then the deeper channel, it's clear, and I'm fishing just the other side of where that would be, just on the edge of the current. Hoping for some roach, hoping for some chub. With that in mind, the downstream rod, it's got a slightly bigger feeder on, size 6 hook with some cheese paste on it. The upstream rod has got a size 14 on, a bit of bread flake on there, and a smaller feeder. Just see what happens really. The water temperature hasn't changed much from the weekend, or should I say, when was it I came down, had a look, it was Wednesday, wasn't it? Wednesday I thought I'd fish, and then I didn't think I'd fish because they forecast it to snow, and then I changed my mind because it didn't snow in the night. I came down, the water temperature was 4.8 that night, which prompted me not to fish because it had gone down quite a lot. However, 2 days later it's just 4.6 today, so it hasn't changed much in the last certainly 48 hours. So that gives me a bit of confidence. Obviously the river's cold, as is the air temperature, 3.9. It's not as warm as it looks. I've just walked, I normally park up there and walk the sort of half a mile down here, but I actually walked from home today, so I probably walked about 3/4 of a mile. So I'm still a bit warm from that, which is why I haven't got many clothes on, but it's starting to get a bit chilly. To be honest, it looks nice and warm, and in the sun it wasn't too bad at all, but I think with the sun going down and a bit of a breeze, to be honest, it's cutting me off at the moment. So I'm going to get, got my thermal hat and stuff, so I'll get all that on shortly. But we'll fish into dark. I think maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock. We'll see what happens. Depends how quickly I'll get bored. Swan's telling me to go home already. But yeah, that's the tactics at the moment. I need to touch on what I've done slightly differently. You have to excuse me, I keep looking down here at my tips, but I've actually got my phone down here recording the tips, so you won't miss anything, don't worry. I'll cut you in if we get a bite. Changed my rigs very slightly, and also I've thought up a different hook link, just a little variation on a theme, which I've actually put on my Facebook page. If any of you've gone on there, there's a photo on there. But just to bring it to life, I'll show you what I've done. If you watched the last video, you know I was missing so many bites, it's driving me crazy. I was just using a size 6 hook, oh excuse me, with some cheese paste on it, tied on with a grinner knot. That was it. I was leaving the point exposed, still was missing stacks and stacks of bites, wasn't I? Driving me up the wall. I was editing the footage actually. At one point I heard myself say, for Christ's sake. I was getting very, very annoyed. So I've been scratching my head this week, and what I've done is come up with a little thing which I hope will help with my cheese paste rigs, or pastes in general, to be honest. So guys, I've got this off the winder. All I've done is taken a size 6 hook, but this is actually an 8. I've done it some 8s as well, just to give me an option. Is what I've done is taken a spring out of a clickable pen, biro, and I've put it on the D-rig. If you can probably see that against my jumper probably better. If I do that, it might actually be in focus as well. As you can see there, I've just put spring on the D part of the D-rig, and the idea of that is that I can squeeze a cheese paste into that and it's going to be more securely held on, although I don't really have a problem with it coming off. But what I wanted to do is mount it a little bit further back and leave more of the point exposed, and also D-rig is tied on with a knot that's not there, gives a more aggressive hooking angle, if you can see that. So that was my thinking with this, and I've actually got one on at the moment. Mr. Chainsaw started again. He's moved off down there now. So that was the thinking behind that. As I say, I've got one of these on the downstream rod, and it's got some cheese paste on, and to be honest, I've had it in once, and it's clinging on lovely. I mean, it'd just be nice to get a bite and see if it actually we actually hook anything. But that was the thinking behind that anyway. It's literally a D-rig. Rather than put a ring or a swivel on the D, I've just threaded on the spring out of a biro. That's it. We'll see if it works, if we get a bite. Oh, we've just had a little pull then, actually, on the cheese paste. I think something is showing an interest. That we've got some something on the line. It's just a gentle. Be nice to catch something by as I'm sitting here taking 6 months off my life, breathing all this crap in. Tied up some slightly longer hook links as well. Put them on winders this time. Hook links I use normally about 10 inches long, purely because they go in the box I've got quite nicely. But I've got a box with winders, which it's one of these. It's a Guru box. It takes these things. I think it's more match orientated really. I can put longer hook links on those winders, obviously, and these are probably a couple of foot long now, just to try and slow the bites down as well. That was the thinking behind that. Longer hook links to slow the bites down, the spring and the more aggressive hooking angle. But we'll see whether we do any good with that. Oh gosh, we're getting some bites now on the old bread flake just as the sun's gone down. It's a very sharp tug. Missed it again. Never mind, we'll keep trying. Well guys, it's just gone 5 o'clock, absolutely freezing. 1.2 degrees according to my thermometer. I've had a little knock on the cheese paste. I've had a couple of bites on the bread flake, but it's getting too dark now really for bread flake. I need something smelly on. So I'm going to go over to one of my other pastes that I knock up at home. And going to fish cheese paste on one, and then another paste, different paste or luncheon meat or something on the other rod, and we'll see how we get on. It's all fairly quiet at the moment, but with the water temperature down at sort of 4.6, I'm not really surprised. But you might be able to winkle a chub out yet. We'll give it an hour anyway. Well guys, we've got something finally. Doesn't feel massive. Oh, Mr. Chub. Oh, got a good one too. Fantastic. Really, really gentle bite. Wow. Well guys, finally a fish. Brilliant. As you probably saw in the footage, I've had a few bites, really slow little pulls. I was really wondering if perhaps a shoulder bream had moved in, to be honest. And then again this time, really slow little pull, and it just pulled round and I thought, right, I'm having that. Bang, we connected, and to be honest, the hook was literally about 1.5 to 2 inches down his throat. I was just getting out with my finger thinking, I don't want to stick my fingers too far down here because they're pharyngeal teeth. But there we go, to prove a point. As you can see there, hopefully that's the hook with a spring on the back. Did its job. Couldn't have asked any better than that, with these funny bites as well tonight. Very funny and very few and far between. It's just about 6 o'clock now, so to be honest with you, I'm off home shortly. Let's just have a look at this chap. Probably, I don't know, £4 maybe, something like that. It's very, very welcome after 3 weeks of blanking. How's about that? Fantastic. Camera recorder sort itself out. Beautiful, beautiful chub. Oh, really pleased with that. It's fantastic, and he's absolutely spotless. Maybe £3.5, £4, something like that. Well guys, there's the other side of him. Fantastic, behaving himself really well for the camera. Over the moon with that. Now I actually took this one on a paste I make up myself from, this one was on the krill, sticky baits, the krill paste that I make up myself. What I'll do is over the next couple of days, I think I'll knock up a little video just showing you how I make my pastes, because I've got a little trick I use to thicken the paste up just to keep it on the hook, and obviously it did the trick really well tonight with this fella. That's fantastic. I'm going to get him back in the water. So thanks very much for watching, thanks very much for sticking with me. Finally we got a fish, brilliant. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling, and please keep in touch with the comments below or on my Facebook page. There's a link at the top of my channel page in the banner, if you'd rather do that. But as I say, thanks very much for watching. Tight lines, and I will see you again very soon.